There's a man so powerful, so wise, that the world's greatest warriors are convinced he's a living god, a long-lost ancestor who's finally returned. Now imagine that same man is completely blind and has absolutely no idea any of this is happening. Well, this is the story of probably the biggest misunderstanding in history.
So, we're going to jump right into a scene that, on the surface, makes zero sense. You've got the most powerful warriors in this world, they're called cultivators, and they are literally bowing down to this simple, unassuming man. Why? Well, it's because they've made a massive, colossal mistake. So on one side, you have their perception of him. He's this enlightened master, a being of just immense power who's been living in secret. And then, on the other side, you have the reality. He's a blind school teacher who just wants to do a good job and genuinely believes he's teaching a small class of ordinary village kids.
So the big question is, right, how did this even happen? To untangle this unbelievable legend, we have to go back, way back, to the beginning, to a man they simply call Sensei.
It all kicks off with this guy named Sensei, and let's just say his life took a very, very unexpected turn. See, Sensei wasn't always from this world. He was a totally normal teacher back on Earth. In a really heroic moment, he saved one of his students from a collapsing wall, but the accident crushed him, leaving him blind and, somehow, flinging him into this new magical world. Now, some mysterious system has given him a mission. If he can successfully teach 100 students and help them pass their exams, he'll get his sight back and finally go home.
Simple enough plan, right? He finds what he thinks is a group of kids on a remote mountain, and he just gets to work. He has no idea this world is filled with powerful magic, spiritual beasts, and all these warning clans. To him, he's just a teacher, trying to do his job.
But here's the twist. His students aren't ordinary children, not even close. They're actually incredibly powerful spiritual monsters who are just hiding their true forms from their new blind teacher. I mean, he can't see them, so why would he ever suspect anything?
And this is where things get truly absurd. He's teaching them things from our world, like earth science, literature, and philosophy, and they are desperately trying to connect these mundane concepts to their magic and cultivation. So he thinks he's explaining photosynthesis. They think he's unlocking the profound secrets of the universe.
Of course, a secret little school hidden away on a mountain can't stay hidden forever. The outside world is about to come knocking, and trust me, it's not going to be a friendly visit. A group of really arrogant cultivators from the powerful Tao-Te sect. This is a warrior clan known for being absolutely ruthless. They wander onto the mountain. They're hunting for treasure, and they see these children as nothing more than a pest to be swatted away.
So when his students tell him that bandits have shown up, Sensei gets worried. To protect his poor, defenseless children, he gives them a special lesson. Guerrilla Warfare 101. You know, the classic playbook for a weaker force to defeat a stronger one. And his monster students, who he still thinks are the weaker force, they take this lesson and apply it with just terrifying perfection. They lure the Tao-Te sect in with bait, and when the enemy pushes forward, they fall back. When the enemy tries to leave, they hunt them down. They follow his instructions to the letter, systematically and brutally taking apart an entire squad of elite cultivators.
And this right here is how the legend is born. A simple classroom lesson, when applied by monsters, creates something else entirely. The few survivors that manage to escape, they tell a story not of children, but of terrifyingly smart demon guardians led by some unseen, all-powerful master.
And this just kicks off a pattern. The Tao-Te sect leaders themselves come to investigate, and every single thing Sensei does is misinterpreted on a cosmic level. He teaches a basic philosophy lesson on yin and yang. They feel a spiritual breakthrough. He offers them a cup of tea out of politeness. They think it's a priceless spiritual elixir. He recites a poem for literature class. They hear a divine chant revealing the secrets of the universe.
So, when they're faced with all this evidence, they can only come to one possible conclusion. This impossibly powerful, impossibly wise being, he must be their sect's long-lost ancestor, who vanished thousands of years ago and has now returned.
Okay, so now we get to the moment where this wild misunderstanding cements itself as undeniable truth for them, and it all comes down to a simple school test.
Sensei decides it's time for an exam. His top student, a silver wolf named Nim, studies super hard and, what do you know, gets a perfect score, 100%. Sensei is just so proud of his students' hard work. But get this, The moment Sensei confirms that Nim passed the test, this wave of pure energy transforms him. Nim, the silver wolf, instantly takes on a perfect human form. Now this is a transformation that should take a spiritual beast 100 years of brutal training to achieve. He did it in an instant.
So for the Tao Te sect spies watching this happen, any shred of doubt they might have had just completely vanishes. A simple written exam that grants a century's worth of power? No way. That's not teaching. That's a divine miracle. Only their ancestor could have that kind of power.
The news spreads like wildfire. The ancestor is real, and his power is beyond anything they can comprehend. So now the most powerful people in the world, we're talking sect leaders, emperors, they are all flocking to this mountain to seek his wisdom.
Even the super powerful leader of the Tao Te sect, Yuno, who had been stuck at a power bottleneck for 50 years, comes to him. Sensei, just thinking she's a new student, gives her an exam, and the sheer challenge of the test pushes her to a breakthrough, and she ascends to the legendary saint level right there on the spot. And Sensei's reaction to all this world-changing stuff? He's just thrilled that his students, both the young ones and these new, very respectful adults, are so dedicated to their education. He has absolutely no idea he's become the most revered and feared person in the entire world. So Sensei's name is now being whispered in total awe by emperors and masters, who all think they're getting guidance from a living god. But he's still just a blind teacher, trying to grade papers. As his legend grows and shapes the fate of the world, you have to wonder, what in the world is going to happen when the blind master finally gets his sight back and sees the truth?